Hello cutie patooties, and I guess welcome to my first long formative video. Last week or so, I finally posted on my social medias after like 7 months, and if you've seen it and read the caption, you know that brought up a lot of like anxiety and guilt. So I wanted to expand a bit on those feelings. I thought this video was a great one to talk about since I did film it with the intent of it being one of the first videos I put out on my YouTube channel. And also, needless to say, when I started that channel, I didn't expect that it would take me over a year to post my first full-length video. And when I started this sketchbook thread in November, I didn't think it would take me until the end of February to finish it and until August to edit and put out the video of it. So back to my unprompted and unofficial hiatus. At first I was feeling quite guilty about letting my posting down and even my art practice to some extent, but I've been doing a lot of fun stuff in my personal life and putting myself out there in different ways that are slowly helping me discover who I am as a person, what I like and what I don't like. And that's important too, especially as an artist, because to know what you want to say, you first have to know who you are and what you stand for. And I also went on this wonderful Central America trip, basically all of May. Finally, in December, my day job has been a little hectic and draining, as I've basically been covering for myself and another person. So needless to say, my energy levels and motivation were a bit down the drain. Even knowing that and going through all that growth, part of me still felt a bit guilty about not practicing art more, posting more, or not having time to animate ideas, etc. The list could go on forever. And for the first time in my life, it's not that I don't have ideas, which is an amazingly surprising thing for me to say, because for the longest time, I would consider myself someone that was artistic, but not necessarily creative, because I wouldn't have many original ideas. But that's a whole topic for another video. I'm slowly realizing and learning to accept that everyone's energy levels are a bit different. And even my own energy levels can vary at different times. Some days, weeks, or months, I'll have more energy to grow in my art practice. Some other times, I'll have more energy and drive to grow in my personal life. It comes and goes in waves. And that's okay. I'm trying to convince myself here. You just gotta go with the flow bit. That's my energy tank's capacity, and I have to listen to it. Some people can do it all the time and all at the same time, and that's great for them. Even I can sometimes do a bunch at the same time, but I can't always, and I have to accept that's just how it is. All that to say, hi again. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad you're here. I do want to talk a bit about this spread while we're here. So it's been a while that I've been wanting to do like a gallery wall type spread of classic stamps. And so when I saw that Sophie McPike, in her Doodle Brigade was doing this stamp edition, basically, stamp episode, I saw it as a sign and an opportunity to finally do that idea that was growing in the back of my head. So her Doodle Brigade is usually, or Scribble Brigade, I think it's Scribble Brigade, is usually to like take some time to loosen up and just doodle for fun. And I've actually been to followed a few of those, but for this one I kind of really wanted more of a finished and polished look, so I took quite a bit some more time than just being scribbles. But I'm really glad I did, because I really love how it turned out, how the whole spread turned out, and that I finally saw that idea to completion. Now, I did devise a little plan, a little reset plan of sort for the rest of the year to help me set my goals, a little bit more productive on the art practice front. I was in the shower, aka where the best ideas happen, and I was thinking about what I could do better for next year. And then I was like, wait a second, why would I wait for next year when I can just start whenever? So here we are. In 2024, I gave myself the Flowers of the Month challenge, which was a bit nerve-wracking, but I also feel like it kept me accountable. Thanks to that, I was able to create one illustration a month and post somewhat regularly without being able to fall behind really, because then I would fall behind on the next month and it will accumulate. So I really tried to keep up with the schedule, and I pretty much did, so I was really proud of myself. So what I want to do for the rest of the year is plan a bit of a schedule, like one creative project per month. So starting with August, we have catching up with the backlog. The backlog being mostly editing pending reels and videos. So the stamp one, there's also the Valentine cuties illustrations I did back in February. Then I also did a bit of a room upgrade with where I also walk you through how I make gallery walls, so that's a really fun one to look forward to. And of course we also have a dual grade and painting update, so that's gonna be fun as well. Talking about those two paintings, I do have some touch-ups to do on them, and I also have to figure out if I want to stick with my original plan or where they're at right now, because I quite like what I've done with them, so I'm excited to show you that. Finally, as I'm sure you're aware, K-pop Demon Hunters is an amazing movie that has been taking the internet over by storm, and of course I'm loving it. And I also had a very fun idea for some acrylic keychains inspired by it, and I figured why not just get them made. So I also want to work on that design and see if I can get it manufactured to hopefully sell some of y'all some cool keychains inspired by the movie. Also, I'm not finally, because I always knew I wanted to, but I'm sitting myself down and figuring out how I want to do prints. So I'm still not 100% set on if I want to do them in-house with a printer, or if I want to get them manufactured and sent to me, or even print on demand and send directly to you. That's a whole other ordeal, but I think regardless, I might want to get a printer, so even if I don't end up printing prints myself, I can always print my business cards or whatever in a pinch whenever I need some. So getting a printer is also a goal for the month of August. And finally, the last thing I want to look up in August is markets for the end of the year. Because if I have some nice keychains and if I have some prints and stickers, I want to sell them to you guys. So that'll be fun too. Yeah, so actually, I kid you not even 5 days later, I think it was maybe even 3 in fact, after recording this voiceover, I got the wonderful news that I got into my first market. And guess what? It was 5 weeks away, I had 0 stocks, and it's not even like my files were ready to be sent off to manufacturers or anything. So there was a lot to get done. And I did get done a lot in those 5 weeks, but maybe even more than what the initial plan was. But that initial plan did get a bit thrown out the window. It's also one of the main reasons that this video is actually coming out in September instead of August. But I did manage to work on it and put it out eventually. We're still in the first or second week of September, depending. I also did do the gradient touch-ups I mentioned. Not the update of it though. And I also didn't get to the other videos, editing and scheduling for posting and getting all those posting content ideas. But we'll get there. I did get some keychains manufactured, 5 different designs in fact. Unfortunately not the K-pop Demon Hunter ones, since the market I got into didn't allow fan art. So those will still come, I think. I hope, depending on how well I do on the market and if there's I know there's an interest for it. I did get a printer. I got an Epson ED8550. However, because it was a time crunch and I didn't quite have the time to figure out all the settings and papers and however I want to get set up, I did get my prints and stickers manufactured this time around for the market. There's also multiple other things I had to do to get ready for the market, but I am planning a video for that, so stay tuned. And for now, let's get back to my little planning that has little asterisks all over it. So for September, I had an illustration idea last year that I just never got to do because I was busy with the flowers of the month. But basically last year, to walk to work, I had to go through this patch of grass which had a bunch of wildflowers in it, and it made me feel like a little fairy, and I had an illustration idea from it, so I finally want to get to it. Oh, here I wanted to show you my fun little pen. It's my favorite pen at the moment. It has a little star that pops at the top when you twist the nib out too. It's really cute. I love it. And also on the flowers theme, I also want to look into turning my flowers of the month print illustrations into a calendar for next year. So I'll look into different manufacturing options for that. So that will be really fun. I also want to make some research about canvas prints, since for my canvas paintings I feel like that's such a nice finish that's way more affordable than an original painting. And finally, I want to set up an email list. And of course, let's talk about October quickly. I want to give myself a challenge that's 21 days in my sketchbook. So it's gonna be an illustration, painting, drawing, whatever I feel like challenge to rediscover how to play and create a more consistent practice. I'll go into more details when we get closer to it. I'll already have a video planned out actually. And I also want to start offering my prints online. And I'll stop there for my plans for November and December. They're not quite as detailed. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you liked it and love to listen to me yap. And I hope you liked the spread. Let me know down below in the comments which stamp was your favorite. And of course, for the classic YouTuber spiel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with me and see my next videos. See you next time, which on YouTube will probably be my first market video.